Bro, they got vacant houses in Brooklyn? Like vacant multifamilies? What what would do that? Is it because of the area? I would think New York is like a full monopoly.
Really, I remember the first day I actually went to the bank and removed the $10,000 from the bank just to count it in actual cash, just so I could say like, okay, yeah, I had to count it in cash. I had to go see the cash physically. So I went to Chase, pulled all of the money out, counted it in cash, and was like, okay, this real. I ended up finding somebody on Facebook, matter of fact, working with him on the deal. I found a buyer for the deal, ended up making 15K. And I think you had asked the question earlier, how I actually ended up going about that deal. I just sent the title company my wiring instructions. And I remember sitting by my phone waiting on the money to hit. Took it about an hour, 2 hours. I was calling the title company back to back like, hey, look, where the money at? Where the money at? Ended up making 15K, hit my bank account, boom. I took that 15,000, gave 5K to my mom. And then I remember the first day I actually went to the bank and removed the $10,000 from the bank just to count it in actual cash, just so I could say like, okay, yeah, I had to count it in cash. I had to go see the cash physically. So I went to Chase, pulled all of the money out, counted it in cash, and was like, okay, this real. Put it back in the bank, and from there, that's how I started my wholesale journey. Now, for everybody just with the credit thing, right? I want to start here. How many people are under 30? Yeah, anybody under 30? All y'all look young, so I just wanted to ask the question. Okay, cool. So now, as far as that, I want to go jump to my next question. What do you guys think the fastest way to make $250,000 is? Yeah, the fastest way to make $250,000. Investments? What type of investment? Wholesaling? Yeah. Maybe. What about you? What do you think the fastest way to make $250,000 right now? Real estate? Okay, cool. You?
Have some business, how I can do in the future.
Okay. What about you?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe creating a business or maybe the Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Hey, that was a good guess. I like that. So the fastest way to make $250,000 right now, today, if I had to go tell anybody, this goes for if you work a 9 to 5. This goes for if you own a business. This goes for if you Ubering. I don't care if you're walking dogs. The fastest way to make $250,000 today is credit. Now you might ask me like, Steve, what do you mean by that? So first and foremost, I want to ask, is anybody familiar with credit? Does anybody understand credit, know what it is, understand how it operates? Talk to me. Anybody know about credit? Okay. So the fastest way to make money in Georgia or the US is something called credit. What the credit is, just to keep it super simple, think of it like a report card. So credit is strictly your report card. It basically shows to the government that you're somebody capable of paying back debt. So for example, if I went to Mamadou right now and said, hey, Mamadou, let me borrow $10 and I'll pay it back to you next week. Let's say next week rolls around and I pay Mamadou back the $10. Can we all agree that Mamadou can trust me with paying him back money, all right? That's what your credit score is. Essentially, what it is banks basically saying, hey, listen, if we lend this guy $10,000, can we count on this guy to pay this $10,000 back, all right? That is credit in an essence. In a nutshell, that is what credit is. Now, how are you gonna make money with credit? Which is super simple. I don't like doing the drawings. I like doing most of the talking. So a lot of time with credit, how you're gonna make money, what banks like to do is they like to extend credit or give money to people that they like know that can pay them back, all right? So what you do as a consumer, as an everyday person, is you want to build your credit. So Steve, you're gonna say, Steve, how do you actually go about building your credit, all right? Well, you're gonna take out debt and you're gonna pay it back. Now you don't gotta take out $100,000 in debt. You don't gotta go get a new car. You don't gotta buy a house to establish debt. When you're doing credit, it can be simple as taking $10, paying $10 back, and even that can reflect as good on your credit report. Now, a lot of people that are just now getting started, right? What you can do is you leverage other people who have credit in order to get your credit started. Most of the time, this $2,000 investment into your credit can actually go get you $100,000 from the bank. You can build your credit from start to finish in 2 months. 2 months of working on your credit can go get you access to $250,000 from the bank immediately. They'll give you $250,000 to invest just from building your credit score, just from taking out debt and paying it back. Now, one of the first ways I always tell people to do this is through joining a community like this, right? So there's something called trade lines. So when you're first starting out and you're somebody that doesn't have any credit, you don't have any history of paying anybody back, you're just now getting here, you're gonna get something called a trade line. Right? It's called a trade line. Now, super key word. The trade line, what it is basically you borrowing somebody else's credit to establish your credit. So let's say, for example, me, I'll just take me for example. Let's just say I'm a person that has a car loan and I go out and go get a $50,000 car, right? And I'm constantly making the payments every single month on that $50,000 car. What I can do is I can take you, for example, I can say, hey, listen, if you pay me $100, I'll add you to my car loan, right? And it'll look like you are paying $50,000 for the car. So by the time I pay that car off in full, I'm done paying it, it'll look like you paid a $50,000 car loan without you ever having to go out and go take debt out, without you ever having to go out and go buy a car. It will look like that, all right? We're doing this right now with some students in our actual community right now where we have a couple $30,000 credit cards. We're adding them on the credit cards for about $50 to $100. They're coming in and they're literally getting that trade line on their credit, right, to start it off. So a lot of times with banks, they want to see, different types of credit. They want to see credit cards. They want to see that you're paying home loans. They want to see that you're paying car loans. And all of this stuff can be borrowed from other people. You don't have to ever go out and establish this. You can go get this from somebody in 1 week. After a month, you can literally go to the bank and pull out $250,000, all right? So I'm gonna stop it right there just to kind of make sure everybody following along. Any questions so far? Oh, really? Okay. I'm gonna stop it right there to just see if anybody got any questions so far. Any questions?
Okay, we have time. He said 6 p.m.
Okay, cool. All right, got you. So I'm gonna stop it right there to see if anybody have questions so far. Any questions? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to make sure they understand me because. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, too fast, a little bit too fast. Slow it down a little bit. Okay. Okay.
If you have car loan, you are two guys take one car and one credit. So you want now remove his name on his credit.
Mm-hmm.
What is gonna do?
So explain that again.
Example, I have good credit.
Yeah.
This guy have good credit. So I take the car for him.
Mm-hmm.
I add him into my credit.
Mm-hmm.
So take the car.
Mm-hmm.
Now after like 1 or 5 months, now I want to remove my name in his car.
Mm-hmm.
How to do that?
So on a trade line, for example, right? Whenever you're adding somebody to a trade line, you typically get their personal information. So I get your name, first name, last name, birthday, social security if you have one, and phone number. Generally, you can literally go into your bank, right, and say, hey, listen, this person was a co-borrower on this loan, right, this car note. What I want to do is I want to remove that person. It's just a conversation with your banker. You literally can have that conversation and say, hey, I want to remove this person off the loan, and I want to take the loan in my name personally, and boom, that's it. Like even when we do the credit cards, right, I typically only bring people on credit cards for 3 months. So you can literally add them and remove them as you want to.